All right, guys, welcome back, and we are live. You guys give me a few seconds here, and I'm a few minutes late. But I had to take care of some stuff. Still taking care of some stuff. As soon as I get the laptop set up here so I can monitor the chat, then we'll go ahead and get started taking a look at what I've got on the screen here. As you can see, as most of you know who are probably tuned in right now, this is going to be kind of a first impressions, first review of Gettysburg, The Tide Turns, from Slytherin / Matrix Shenandoah games. Matrix was kind enough to offer me a early access key, early review key, and I took it, and I'm going to take a look at what we've got going on. So again, guys, if you bear with me a second, I'm going to go ahead and get the screen pushed out to everybody so that they can tune in if they want and see what this game offers. I will say I've played probably about like 4 or 5 hours of this game so far, and I enjoy what I've seen thus far. There are some nitpicky things that I'm not a fan of, and we'll get into that, you know, as we go on here. Just send this link out, then we'll get started. I can spell. I'll say that. Check one more. Alice. All right. Shoot it off to one more spot here. Go ahead, knocking heads here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Let me flip over to the game. All right, so as you can see, Battle Hymn, Gettysburg, The Tide Turns. This is the tactical battles of the American Civil War. Now, I'm going to preface blah, blah, this video with saying that even though I grew up in Virginia, and I've been to all the major battlefields around here in and about the area going to school, the American Civil War was never high on my list of things that I was interested in. Better. It just, I don't know. It wasn't until recently, actually, that I've actually started taking an interest in the American Civil War. I guess, I don't know, the whole Napoleonic era, the 1800s battles, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. But I will say this. I do like this game. This game plays very much like a your typical hex encounter board game. Just right off the bat, it's pretty lean on options. This is what you get for options right here. When you do start the game, there's another option setting where you can set your resolution and stuff, but other than that, this is it. AI speed dictates, you know, how quickly the AI decides what it's going to do. I turned the music off because, as you can see, there's no volume sliders in-game, which is kind of a bummer. It's not a deal breaker, but it would have been nice to have. And then you've got this history here where, if you're like me and you don't know, you know, a whole lot about the American Civil War, in particular the Battle of Gettysburg, you can kind of give, you know, it's nice that they give you all this historical information about it. So it's here if you want to read about it. You can read about, you know, prelude, what, you know, led up to it, the armies that fought, the tactics that they employed, the weapons that they used. There's a little thing, you know, as far as both General Robert E. Lee and George Meade, little bios about them. And then there's a, you know, a breakdown of the actual battle itself, day 1, day 2, and day 3. And I'm not going to, you know, read all this to you guys. You guys can, if you get the game, you can read it. If not, you know, I'm sure all of this stuff is available online somewhere, Wikipedia, you know, there's a lot of research that's gone into this battle. This is a pretty big battle as far as, you know, American history. There is an online mode where you can play against another human opponent, which is cool. I'm kind of eager to check that out. Now, this game doesn't release until tomorrow. What is it, the 13th of July is when it comes out. I'm playing it the day before, the night before. So, as it is right now, I doubt anybody else is online. They may be, I don't know, I haven't checked. But I'm eager to check this out. So if you guys do get this game, somebody does get it, and once you become, you know, acclimated to, you know, the game and how it works and all that, you know, if you want to play multiplayer, like I said, I'm eager to try it out. So hit me up if you guys want to play some games. What else here? Now you can, there's some short tutorials. They were helpful. Most of the stuff you can kind of figure out on your own. I do suggest that you do, you know, click here and go through the learning, go through the tutorials, you know, read all this stuff. You know, it tells you what icons are what. And I'm going to go through all this stuff when I play. So I'm not going to flip through all these slides here for the tutorial. And then, you know, obviously the manual. The manual is not that big for this game, which was another nice thing. It's not like, you know, a game, say, like Gary Grigsby's, like War in the East or War in the West, where there's, you know, like a 500-page manual. This isn't like that. I want to say at most the manual is like 20 pages, maybe. But what we're going to do, we're going to click play. And we're going to go to a new game. As you can see, I've been playing some. I already have a save game. Hey, Herschel, how's it going? We're going to kind of select our scenarios. Now, there are several scenarios that you can play. And you can play both as the Confederates or the Union. So you've got the first day, the second day, the third day. You can do the entire campaign. And then there's a couple other little scenarios here, which is nice, where it gives you kind of, you know, if you just want to do Pickett's Charge, or, you know, or the best 3 hours, or the, you know, historically the best 3 hours of the entire battle. Because honestly, a lot of this game is positioning and getting into position. And what we're going to do, we're just going to do the first day because it's the shortest. And I don't want this stream, you know, to run on for, you know, 5 hours. So we'll go ahead and do the first day. We'll run a couple turns. Next here. You do have an AI difficulty scale here. So 1, 2, or 3. I'm guessing 2 is right in the middle at normal. So that's what we'll do. You can do a face-to-face game, which I'm not sure what that is. I have to look. I'm assuming that's, you know, 2 people sitting down at the same computer and you take turns controlling things. We'll go ahead and play as the Union. And we're going to go ahead and hit play. Now, right off the bat, what you guys are going to notice. And here, you know, it gives you, why does it say turn 1 of 31? Didn't want to do the campaign. Go back to that. That's not quite what we wanted to do. Do a new game. First day. First day. Okay, so right off the bat, it gives you your objective for whichever scenario you're playing. So for the Confederates, they need to conquer 2 objective hexes. They currently hold none. And for the Union, we need to have more victory points than the Confederates at the end of 11 turns. And the way this game is broken down, and actually I'm going to turn down the sound here just a little bit because it's pretty loud. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Okay, so the game, each turn is an hour long of game time. So you can see a new hour has started. These formation await the order. So we've got Heath down here in 3rd Corps, and then we got 1st Corps up here. So the game, it works on a random chit pool. And basically there's command chits for, you know, your different divisions, your different corps, and they get picked at random. And then that determines on, you know, which units you can move. So right now we got 1st Corps chit. There's 10 hours remaining, you know, because each turn is an hour long, and we're on turn 1 of 11. You hit continue, and this kind of dictates what you can do. Now you can see right off the bat, one of the things I like most about this game is the visual style, the aesthetic. This, you know, it looks like an old map, you know, from the time period. And just overall, I think it looks really good. I really like it. And if we look here, we can see our units, or some of our units here. And actually, let me find out. So we've got 1st Corps. So you've got these entry hexes here. You can see this hex here is highlighted because that's where 1st Corps is going to come in. And it tells us up here that, you know, we move, you know, for I-Corps units here, it's a 2 units available to move. And we've got Cutler here, who's a veteran brigade, and then the Iron Brigade, which are Elite Plus. So the way this game works is what you're going to see here. We're going to move our units here. You can see we clicked on the Iron Brigade. He comes in at this hex, this entry hex, and then he can move to these blue dots, these blue circles. That dictates where his movement is. Obviously, traveling along roads is going to get you there quicker. These here are trails, these hash marks. Traveling through, you know, difficult terrain or woods. All these things have an effect on how fast your guys can move. So we're going to move him. We're going to get him moving all the way down this road. Then we're going to get Cutler in right behind him. And you can see for that command chit's activation, those were the only units for that command chit. And so that turn is done. Now, these Confederate flag symbols here, these are victory points in the town of Gettysburg. I will point out one of the things that does annoy me about this game is you can see here on the compass rose how north is pointing to the left here. I wish they had made it to north pointing to the top of the screen. My only guess as to why that decision was made was, you know, because we would have a really narrow map, I guess, on the screen. I don't know. To me, that's just annoying that it's not, I don't know, correctly aligned. But I can understand, I guess, why they did it. One of the other things I want to show you here, so if you hit this menu button, it tells you, we're on the first day, the 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We can look at the calendar, and this is going to tell us that what units are coming in into the battle space on what days, or at what time. So on turn 1, obviously we just had, these two here. Turn 2, the Confederates are going to get, some more units, and so forth and so on as it goes on throughout the scenario. Now you will see this initiative here. Nobody has initiative until turn 7, in which case what that means is we look, and it's not going to show it on here. I'll have to go to the next turn before we do it, and then I'll explain it. is that'll make a little bit more sense to you once you see what I'm getting ready to show you. So once you order your units to move, and just a quick thing about units. So if we look at the Iron Brigade here, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks there. Essentially what that means is that's how many strength points it has. So the more strength points you have, the stronger the unit, as well as you can see the quality of troops. And I want to say there's maybe like 6 levels of quality all the way down from raw to elite plus. And each level of quality gives your guys combat modifiers, basically on the die roll that rolls, you know, behind the scenes. So we're gonna go ahead and hit commit. There's one chit remaining, which was Heath, the Heath chit here, and so he's gonna, you know, obviously move his units coming down here from the west. And then if you click this arrow here, that's kind of like your dialogue box. And so once we get engaged, I'll bring that up and you guys can see kind of how the game figures out combat and things like that. So here we are, we're on turn 2, and you can see more command chits have been added to the pool here that's randomly drawn. Specifically these USA combat chits and the CSA combat chit. This is the only time when either of these two chits, either of these two combat chits are drawn, that's the only time units will actively fight in combat. So each turn, you only get one shot at, you know, at a battle. So this game, there's a lot of maneuver that revolves around this game. So we're gonna go ahead and hit continue. Let's see which one's drawn. See, now the combat chit for the USA was drawn, which isn't good because I don't have any units within range. I may be able to use Caliph here with his horse artillery, and I may be able to shoot at Davis, but I don't think it's going to do much. You know, he's plenty far away. So if I hit continue here, let's see. Yeah, okay, so I can do a bombardment. There is line of sight in this game. So you select, you know, your artillery unit, and then you select your target. Right now, Davis is the only one I can target, and that's what that circle is. So you click on him, you get a little targeting symbol, you hit commit, and then I'll go ahead and roll or bring this up here so you guys can see it. You hit commit. He had a 20% hit chance to hit him, and it was no effect. So in turn, the Confederate combat chip was drawn, and it just kind of skips that because he has no units and no artillery within range. So now we're back to I Corps here, and you can see I've got more reinforcements that are going to come in from their avenue of approach here through their entry hex. The 2 units here that we had earlier, Iron Brigade, we're going to keep moving them down the road. Same with Cutler. And then we've got all these other units, and you can see some of these are less experienced troops. We've got Raw, which is kind of at the bottom of the barrel. We've got more artillery. We definitely want to get our artillery forward. It moves slowly, but heavy firepower. So we're going to get our artillery. We're going to get Baxter moving. Let's go ahead and get Paul right behind him. And this here is just talking about how the terrain does affect movement and combat. And then Biddle's coming in down here in the west. And we're going to kind of track him up these tracks here and see if we can maybe intercept some of these Confederate units coming over Whistler's Ridge up here. So that's all the units there for I Corps. We're going ahead and hit commit again. You can see the gameplay is fairly fast. Now, with this being the first day of the battle, the first couple turns, there's a lot of maneuvering and posturing that you're going to do to try to gain the advantage. Because it's a random chit draw, you never quite know, and I'm going to go ahead and hit continue here, so the Confederates are bringing in their reinforcements. The random chit draw, is kind of neat because you can have an idea of what you want to do and how you want to plan it out. But if your chits don't come up in the order that you need, or if that combat chit, you know, comes too early before you have units positioned where you want them, or if it comes too late and the enemy's moved out of the battle space, it can really screw you over. With that being said, no two battles are going to be the same, which, you know, gives to its replayability. Yeah, Herschel, again, I'm really enjoying it. It is an interesting system. And right now we've got the Cav here. We've got Gamble and Devon. And these are Buford's, Colonel Buford's boys here. And we can move them if we want. You can always check the status of which chits have been drawn. So I don't have to worry about him shooting me right now. He only has Heath left to move, which are, you know, a couple of these units down here. So I may want to... here. I might want to adjust these guys. Or I may leave them there, I don't know. I think I'm going to leave them there. Yeah, we're going to leave them there. We're not going to move them. Because they're kind of our speed bump to slow down the Confederates moving into Gettysburg. So we'll go ahead and hit commit. He's going to move the rest of his units here. Now, splitting fire. If a unit moves next to more than one enemy unit, it must split its strength easily as possible between those two units. Units do take morale checks when getting shot at or in combat. So you can see, as he moves his units up here next to mine, and you can see more chits here have been added. We'll go ahead and hit continue. All right, so 11 cores coming on. Let's zoom in back down here. You can see that they have to split units, split fire, essentially, if you move next to more than one unit. You can see Gamble here. He's a strength 5 unit, but I think shooting down slope, for some reason, it gives you a -1 modifier. So that's why he's at a 4 strength. And then Archer here has only, even though he's a 5 strength unit, he's firing uphill, and he's got to split it between 2 units. So it must be a -3 modifier to shoot uphill, so that's why he only has 2 strength points to use. One has to go to Gamble, and one has to go to Caliph. Caliph, being that he's a 1 strength unit, the game randomly determines which target that he's going to apply that 1 strength to. And same here, -1 modifier down. Davis is a strength 8 unit. But, you know, he's got some pretty big modifiers here as well. But we're going to go ahead and get 11 core going here. We're going to get Osborne moving on down the road, followed by Krasinski and this guy. Oh, I don't want to butcher his name. Hit commit. All right, the artillery reserves. He's starting to get artillery in position. Artillery can fire over units, can fire over its own units. Let's see here. Alright, so Heath got another draw. He's moved Davis out over to the north, and he brought Pettigrew up. Moving Archer off. Fender's coming on. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them down there in the chat. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. No, man, I'm not playing Siege tonight. I'm doing this live stream, this playthrough here. And then I've got some other stuff lined up that I'm going to get into. Alright, so we've got the USA combat chit. This can go one of two ways here. When your combat chit is drawn, you do have the option to retreat. You don't get to choose where your units will retreat to. I think they retreat 2 hexes backwards. This game does have a zone of control for each unit, so retreating through enemy zone of controls does have some pretty negative effects on your units. They take extra hits. When units do take hits, they take demoralized hits and they take damaged hits. Demoralized hits are kind of like stuns to your unit, and you'll see them on the actual counters here. I want to say that they become transparent counters. And then you can take destroyed hits, which a demoralized counter you can recoup by resting your unit if it's not moved or if it's not been engaged for 1 full turn. Whereas a destroyed hit is irrecoverable unless you do it on a night turn. And I haven't done any night turns yet. I'm kind of interested to see that. So what we might want to do, we might want to, you know, we're gonna go ahead and commit. We're gonna take on Pettigrew here, and that guy with Gamble. Let's see what they do here. And these numbers here kind of represent, you know, your odds at doing more damage to the enemy. So if you've got a higher number here, chances are you've got a fairly good chance that you're going to inflict more damage on them than they are on you. Let me just put it that way. All right, so we're going to hit commit. Read about hit resolution here. We damaged him, so we took 3 damage on Devin there, and we lost that Caliph there, and he was shattered, which means he bails. He's off the battlefield, and you can see all the stuff down here, how it all panned out. I would have liked to have known or seen something visually other than just this dialogue box. That's another one of my gripes. You know, maybe a dice roll or something letting me know how I did. This is okay. I just think this is kind of how to put it, a cheap way of doing it. Just this general dialogue box. I don't know. It could have been more flashy. And we're just going through all of that. Now, if you do cause an enemy unit to flee or to retreat, or you know, you shatter a unit, you do advance. You can advance after combat. It's not mandatory, but you can. And this here is another one of my gripes. Because this is an early access, the final release patch hasn't been released. And what has happened is the game has frozen up. See, it says select a unit to advance. I can't advance anybody. So I can't go on. So what you have to do, you gotta go all the way back up to the main menu. Hit continue. And then basically replayed the battle. Let's see if it works here. Now the results should be the same from that save. Oh, no, it's a little bit different. There we go. We were screened because we've got cavalry. It wants to advance a unit again. I was really hoping that this wouldn't happen. Go to the menu. Third time's a charm, right? That's probably the biggest bug that I've encountered with this game. Just because that is a game-breaking bug. you shouldn't have to go out to the menu and restart your game there. It's not gonna let me continue on. Are you kidding me? Unit cannot be selected. Yes, we know that unit can't be selected. Alright, we're gonna try this one more time, guys. Alright, you know what? We're gonna do this. I'll show you guys retreat here. Retreat them. Pull them back. That's how we're gonna get around here. The final is gonna be released tomorrow, Herschel. I'm hoping that there's a day one patch. But, you know, I don't know. I haven't talked to, it still wants me to advance units. Yeah, hey Kev, yeah, I am enjoying this when it works. Obviously right now it's having some technical difficulties. I'm just gonna pull all these units back just to get around that. And I'm not a Civil War guy, Kev. You know, I'm more of a modern combat guy or an Ancients guy. But I am enjoying this. No, because it was doing it earlier when I was playing earlier this afternoon. I think it's just because this is still a, technically, this is still a early access build. This isn't final release. Go ahead and commit that. Alright, so it looks like I-Core here. Again, we're getting more units in. We're going to get these guys up here. Cemetery. Again, we're just moving our troops on down the road. Biddle's coming through here. We're taking the paths. And Stone's going to come in at the entry hex here. He can actually move further than when I had him. There we go. Alright, so turn 4. More chits. And who's it going to be? Yeah, that's probably one of the things that I like most about this game, other than the unique play system, is the aesthetic style that the game's got going on. I do like it. I like it a lot. I wish that there was an option, because there's not, because again, you know, it's pretty limited as far as settings. I wish there was an option to turn hexes on. I'm a hex guy. You know, this works, you can kind of tell, but I just wish you could turn, you know, hex outlines on, or even, you know, just maybe vertices. That would have been a lot cooler. And you can see as they push there, they started pushing my units away. I'm gonna get Gamble out and around here. Same thing with Devon. If I push him out here, he's gonna get smashed. So we'll put him in the woods for now. We'll put him up here. I know at some point from the north down Harrisonburg Road, more Confederate troops are going to be coming, and maybe we can do something with that horse artillery. Right now, I think that particular bug where the game freezes, where it doesn't let you, where it thinks that it wants you to advance a unit after combat, even though there's no unit to advance after combat. That's the only time that I ever see that bug. So for me, I would probably say that's a system bug. The AI seems fairly competent. Out of the, what, 2-3 games that I've played, I've won once. Now, that's not, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm some, you know, military genius, but the AI is, you know, pretty good. It seems like it's pretty good at just making its command decisions as far as with the random chit draw. It's it's pretty conservative and it's pretty effective. Where, you know, again, it may just be me. I just, you know, go in guns blazing. I have all these grand ideas of how the battle's going to go, and then the chits don't come my way. He's moving more units down the road. Let's see what he does. I think once maybe the online servers get going, this game will be a lot of fun to play head-to-head. Pender's coming down the road. What do we got here? We got Pettigrew, Pender, Pegram, Archer, Scales, Lane, Thomas, Perrin, McIntosh. I will say this, and again, you know, I mean, I'm no Civil War historian, and I don't know, you know, all there is to know about the Battle of Gettysburg, but I didn't realize until I played this game that the Confederates had so much artillery. They've got a shit ton of artillery in this game. It is a cool idea. Alright, so it's a good thing I put Caliph on this knoll here. He can actually bombard Davis. We'll try to do that, but I think it's going to be pretty ineffective. I mean, it's horse artillery. It's a 1 strength point unit. Alright. Get 11 core. Need more artillery up here. Ames marching on down the road. And von Gilsa coming in right behind him. It is. Again, I was pleasantly surprised with this game. There was a Kickstarter with this game. I didn't know about that until today when somebody pointed it out on the forums or on Facebook. I guess this game was originally designed as a mobile device game, so like for iPads and iPhones. And then, you know, it got funded and they were going to make a board game out of it. Something happened. The original dev, Shenandoah Studios or whatever, they went bankrupt, and Slytherin Matrix bought them out, turned it into a PC game. Because I think this game was originally supposed to come out in 2013, something like that. Again, I haven't, you know, followed it too much, but that's what from what I've read, that's what I gleaned off of what happened. Paul, what are you? Paul, you're experienced. Put you here, Paul. And Stone, you're coming down the road. Get to marching, boys. I do like how it's not just, you know, your typical, you know, single counter, you know, with information on it. I kind of like how the information is right here. I mean, you can mouse over it and get your information. But I like how, you know, the strength point is dictated. Anybody who's played any, you know, hexa-counter board games, you know that typically you just have a chit and a number on it to dictate its, you know, attack strength or defense or movement or what have you. This here, you know, it's easily identifiable. You can see, okay, Paul here, he's a 5 strength unit. Now that doesn't tell you about his, you know, quality. You still have to, you know, actually look it up. But I like that. It gives it a nice aesthetic look to it. If you've seen some of the old, you know, military maps of Gettysburg, they use, you know, different, you know, similar symbology. So that's kind of nice that they did that. Yeah, I believe it was Eric Smith's company. I think he was the original designer who came up with the rule set. But yeah, I think that's the name sounds familiar. So yeah, I think that was him. All right, so we're turn 5. We're halfway through. And again, guys, you know, day 1, a lot of it is just positioning, kind of like, you know, how the real battle was. Now, what I will say is, you don't get to really do much with it as far as, defending Seminary or McPherson's Ridge. It kind of almost just kind of goes straight to, Culp's Hill and, Cemetery Ridge. So you don't really skirmish a lot down here, like the real battle was, I guess. We're going to bombard Pegram here. And we drew our combat chit, which is kind of a bummer because nobody's in range. Good to know. I didn't know that, but again, I don't play a whole lot of Civil War board games. Matter of fact, I haven't played any. But to be honest, after playing this, I kind of want to. I'm not gonna lie. Go ahead and get Evan. We're gonna move him. Actually, you know what? Now, cavalry, and this is what's kind of weird. Cavalry cannot actually move next to an enemy unit in a hex next to them. I can't remember the reasoning behind it in the game, in this game's, reasons, but for some reason you can't. But they do have a neat ability where they can screen units. Or should we park them? Go ahead and move them up there. Why not? Want to get Caliph back up here. Maybe we can put his one gun up here somewhere. I have not played World at War either. So it looks like, so the AI here, you can see he's really moving his units in here because he knows that I've already drawn my combat chit and he still has his. So one of his next two draws are going to be that combat chit. So the AI knows that he's going to have a chance to do some damage. Let's see what he does here. But luckily for us, we will be able to get into positions here. The guys moving up. You can see the Iron Brigade here. They're elite plus infantry. That's the highest quality level you can have. 6 strength unit. They're on top of a hill. And what? Their strength is a 9. So a 9 to Archer's 1. So they should put a hurting down here on Archer for sure. Pender's moving up. So luckily for him, he got his last combat. His last chit drawn was that combat chit. Which, that gives him time to maneuver in position. What, this is turn 5, so this is the end of turn 5. So yeah, we're definitely going into the halfway point here on our initial playthrough. Now, as far as historical accuracy, how the battles play out, I don't think you can really say that it is because of that random chit draw. Each battle, it can go so many different ways. Yes, you can undo a move. Undo a move. So as long as you hit undo before you hit commit, you can undo all your moves. For that chit, anyway. All right, so let's see how this battle goes. He's getting his preliminary bombardments. We're going to get approach fire. See, look at that. Iron Brigade just smashed Archer with 5 damage. 5 more damage. And again, I would really like to see something more than just this box of text. So we shattered Archer. But some of our boys had to, they failed their morale checks, so they skedaddled backwards, which is fine. Not a problem. This is good, so horse coming back up. We're going to go ahead and leave Cutler over here. He's veteran. He's a 5/6, but I think that we can leave him there to recoup that 1 point, maybe. Hopefully. Let's move this. Yeah, Paul. Don't sit net. Experience. His little death circle he's got going on here. Artillery in the center. Baxter. Stone. Again, Cutler we're going to leave there for a minute. Well, not for a minute. For this turn, anyway. So, to show you the undo move, so you can see how I move Stone there. If I hit undo, move Stone back. If I hit undo again, it moves Baxter back. So you can keep on hitting undo for all those units for that shit. Alright, we almost forgot Beto. Now, could we go create some havoc over here with some of this artillery? Go try to intercept that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and commit to our orders there. You can see now that the Confederates, going into turn 6, they have one more chit than we do. They're going to get one move up on us. We get these guys in the woods, provide us a little extra protection. Alright. Or we're going to leave. That. Yeah, the game is pretty forgiving in that regard. Oh, he's coming out of his death bubble. Oh, I should have moved Bedell in there. Damn it. Alright. So it looks like the AI is getting ready to mount another attack here. Getting his artillery down. So this is bug number 2 that I've noticed with this game. Sometimes the AI will get hung up. And it'll move all of its units, but it won't commit to its turn. In which case, you gotta go to main menu, hit continue. Yeah. Again, the AI is going to mount that offensive. Now, what did we do here? I could come smashing right into the flank of Perrin. Gonna cause him to split his fire. But he's already has his fire split here. And we'll get Gilsa down here as well. See how this works out for us. Oh, see? Clicking. I forgot to move those 2 units in there, those 2 brigades. Oh, I hope they take care of them too. I have no doubt that they won't. Or no doubt that they will take care of them. Matrix and Slytherin's got a pretty good track record of taking care of some stuff. Now, we're going to have a fairly big battle all across this line here. The Confederates drew their combat shit. So, this is going to be interesting. I expect to take a beating here with Devon. They're cav, even though they're veterans, they're out in the open down here, so it's a 2-to-1 attack there. The Iron Brigade is having to split their fire between 3 different units. Pettigrew's pretty weakened. This artillery unit is going to do some damage to Pettigrew, but in return, that artillery unit, Wainwright, is gonna take a beating. And Paul, you know, he's got to split between 3. Baxter should do well up against Perrin down here. But let's hit the button and see how it goes. He's going to get his preliminary bombardments. Oh, he's shooting down here at Bedell, too. He retreated Thomas and Scales. They didn't want any part of the Iron Brigade. What? They shattered Paul? He failed his morale check. Even though he had units on there, he failed that morale check. Oh, he failed his too. Wow. Nice little engagement there, but he moved lane up. Now he's bringing on 9 Corps. I didn't think we were going to lose Paul, but that's how it goes. Iron Brigade took a beating. They're down to 50% strength. We're going to have to pull them off the line. Can't believe I forgot to move these 2 brigades over here. Excuse me. You see, you know, Confederates have a lot of troops, a lot of guys to bring in. Now, these victory points, depending on which scenario that you play, obviously these victory points change and they move around the map. I'm assuming, you know, day 2, you know, you got victory points all the way down along this whole ridge, you know, all the way from, you know, Little Round Top to Colts Hill. So we're going to bombard him. Now, if you have an artillery unit adjacent to an enemy unit, you can't do your preliminary bombardment. Smash them for now, Kevin. He's got a lot of stuff coming on down these roads. So what I might want to do here, I think Iron Brigade here can handle this unit here. They're only trained as far as quality. I want to pull back my infantry, but or my artillery, but if I do, Baxter's going to catch the full brunt of lane. We're going to leave him there. We're going to see if we can put a hurting on lane. Yeah, Iron Brigade did some work. As soon as I said that, look at that. Iron Brigade failed their morale check, and that's all she wrote. But, to be fair, we did just destroy Lane. And Lane was a pretty good unit. He was a veteran 7-point unit. 7 strength point unit. We're going to go ahead and advance Baxter. time it actually worked. Commit. Cutler, see, Cutler healed there. He was able to recoup some damage. They've got another chit added to the draw pile. And second corps with General Early. That might be what I'm thinking. These, see these entry points here along these roads, D, E, or D, D, and E. I think E means that's Early's entry point. Again, I don't know, because this is roads, so there's no R there. Hell if I know. E, E, D, 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 C, I don't know. There's nothing in the game that explains that, and there's nothing in the manual. Another combat chit. I'm just gonna get smashed by artillery right now. Moving up his guns. Speaking of guns, get my gills up here. Gotta get aims up here. Deciding where I want to put them. Put aims there. Cutler's here. Oh, Cutler can't move. Raw. Artillery, and then Coster and Smith will get moving along. That one. He can actually make it right there. All right, Kev, you take it easy. Thanks for tuning in. Defender's coming along. Gamble out there. So many units. I may have screwed myself here because all I have is, well, I've got stone there. But the rest of these guys down here towards the south on Cemetery Ridge are all inexperienced troops. At some point we're gonna have to move Biddle back out of here. There it is. Let's get him out. Up here. We are reserve force here in case one of these raw units decides to run. Alright, so we've got a lot of artillery to play with here. See who can shoot who. Obviously that. Thomas is. You're gonna shoot. Got demoralized down there. Don't really want to attack, but again, I don't really want to run away. This unit is going to take a smashing if we leave them here. Yeah, do it. Oh, wow, we lost 2 right there. Pulling his units back. Actually, they had to retreat, didn't they? Turn 8. Didn't want a USA combat. Wanted. God, I hope they release it fast. Yeah, wait for some. I'm gonna have him stand there and fight. That way we can move through the turn. Seven got smashed. He's starting to move on down south. Try to grab some of these victory points. Clean up our line a bit there. Alright, so we've got some pretty decent units coming in. Through here. Those will definitely help out. Where he's going. More guns. So much artillery. Right. Raw units are no good. All they are is fodder. Got to put them. And really, the first day, what you're doing as a Union player is just trying to hold on, trying to buy time until the mass of the Union army arrives. You're just really trying to kind of contain, you know, the Confederate army. Train units. We're gonna pull Baxter off, replace him with Butler. He's gonna start forming up all around here. Gonna hurt. Once he drops, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot. What is this? Coster? Coster's gonna get absolutely owned. Kidding me? He drew a combat chit. Yeah, I will say this. That random chit pool, it's awesome, but sometimes it's infuriating. It's Coster. Wiped off the board. Custer's getting ready to go away. Gilson's getting ready to go away. Bedell's getting ready to go away. Fiddle. Crowded. Crowded. Pushes artillery back. Pushed O'Neill back. Then you saw that he just jumped on those victory points because he knows it's turn 9. If you look here at victory conditions, they currently hold 4 objectives. So we have no choice but to fight these guys. Try to push them off as best we can anyway. Thinking we need to bring the guns down. He's going to reinforce though. He's reinforcing with his artillery now. Guys around there, huh? Entered. I-core. If I stick Stone down here, he's gonna have to deal with Doles and Hayes. He's already done his combat shit, hasn't he? As. Got left. Looking here to see who's alive. We're gonna do it. We're gonna bring him down here. We're set to get a combat chit here. It's oh gosh, 4. That might not be worth it. We'll get up here though. There's our combat chit. Attack there. Down into Jenkins. Treat our guns. We may be able to fight back here, and if he lost that. We're able to move, take that position back, or do this battle down here. He ran. Cav, I'm leaving there. Some pedigree right up on in there, didn't you? Consolidating his position. More units coming in from the west. I don't think this is going to be a win, guys. It's going to be really difficult to push these units off of that hill. Got so much to reinforce it with. Do have reinforcements. Nothing you're gonna get here in time though, it's already turned 9. That's the last chit of the turn. You, however, this. Reinforcements get here in time. Certainly will. They can link up. Maybe we can make good things happen. I don't know. I bet, huh? There. Yeah, our artillery fires do. Demoralized. Pre-demoralized, nice. Alright. Gonna stay, he'll stay, he'll stay. Andy will stay. Yeah. Go. Nice if we punch a hole right in the center. Put this army in too. Watch Caleb. Wow. Ruger. Smith. Ward's about toast. Here he goes. Alright, we push them off. Retreating though. Push him here, I want him to go here. Does he already have it? He hasn't had his combat shit yet, has he? No. Go. Gotta fill these gaps. Gotta sit on those points. Down here. I don't think none of Anderson's units are up here. as always, guys, you know, if you like what you see, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you guys get notified, you know, when I put videos up. Or hit the dislike button if you don't like what you see. I just ask that if, you know, if you do mash that dislike button, go ahead and put a comment in the video telling me why. And, you know, I'll try to make adjustments or change it so you guys do like what you see. Wow, that was quick. I don't think he wanted that attack hit right away, though. I don't think he was in position yet. I think we repelled O'Neill. Happens here with Candy. Got hurt. On standard. Weird that he advanced to there. I thought he would have stayed so he can jump on that that point. He's just getting all his units in line for next turn when he draws that next combat chip. Baxter down right there. Fill the gap. Up. All right, last turn, guys. Yeah, it all shakes out. USA combat. I did not want to combat this round. Not this early, anyway. Up to the crap out of O'Neill there. Andy there. Here we go. coming down to the end, guys. This is the last turn of the scenario of day 1, and this is Gettysburg. The tide turns. The last last couple chit draws, and he got smashed. Took some losses too, though. Push Jones back. Push him out of these woods. They're northeast of Culp's Hill. But of course they left that. Back up there. Happens down here on Cemetery Ridge. Or should be going away. Up. These boys are coming back in after being pushed. They're going to take Culp's Hill. If I can't get guys on there, they're going to take it. Oh, but they drew a combat. So since both combat shits have been drawn, really, all I gotta do is keep them off the points. So I'm gonna move Gamble. Can't move the points. Gamble there. Which units hasn't? Got Rhodes, Johnson, and Pender and Keith. That unit. Move him there. Can't move because you can't move that close to artillery there, though. Pender. Got to stop there because he entered a zone of control for stone. But we actually may be pulling this one out, guys. We may pull a win here. Possibly. Check the victory. It's close as far as victory points, 244 to 221. They hold 2 objectives. Objectives they hold. Those. That's where they were last. There. I got it. Did do my combat, didn't I? Put on the points. Gamey move, I know, but Nice thing is he can't attack this turn because he's already used his combat shit. So if I can get units on these points, then I should be able to pull out a win. As long as we have more VPs than they do. Definitely took a beating. No lie. You move. Alright, so technically we've got all the points now. It was a draw. That's alright though, I'll take a draw. A draw is better than a loss. But there you go, guys. That's Gettysburg, the tide turns, the first day. I hope you enjoyed that. You know, that's just kind of a look at how the game works, the game mechanics, and what you can expect. Obviously, there are some pretty glaring bugs right now. Hopefully, there is a day one patch, and that stuff does get fixed. If it's not fixed tomorrow when the game releases, I'm sure it'll be fixed in time, because they're pretty significant bugs. So, with that being said, I know I'm not the most... maybe I didn't play that, you know, the most tactically sound way of you know, defending, but, you know, there it is. So, definitely, guys, give this game a look. If you're into, you know, the American Civil War as a theme, if you're into, you know, tactical, you know, hex-based war games, you know, I highly suggest this game. It definitely gets a thumbs up for me, even in its current state, its pre-release state. I've had a lot of fun. I've played now, going on about 4.5, 5 hours, and you know, it's been pretty enjoyable so far. So, all right, guys, I will catch you next time on the next stream. I have no idea what I'll be playing. It'll be something for sure, but I'll let you know. Thanks again for stopping by. Again, if you want to shoot the shit or chat, talk about games, you can find me, you know, on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube. You just hit me up, send me a message, Twitch, all that stuff. As far as YouTube's concerned, you know, if you guys like what I'm putting out, you know, please do subscribe and hit the like button. It only encourages me to make more videos for you guys. So, with that being said, you guys have a good evening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.